Action from the Mushroom Farm. Great video for you guys today. So I'm getting ready to do a little harvesting. I'm gonna pick some of these lion's manes right before the market. We got some banging pink oysters we're gonna pick too. Literally, I have the farmer's market in just a couple hours, so these things are gonna be like ultra fresh for the farmer's market. I'm always stoked when I can bring something super fresh to the market. I love presenting a good product. And I've been doing this for years, so it's like I'm not like a rookie to this. I've been doing this 8 years full time. I have mastered mushroom cultivation. If you're new and you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, make sure you click that subscribe button right now so you get more mushroom and farming videos like this in the future. We have over 200 videos on mushroom farming and mushroom cultivation on this channel, and I am constantly pursuing excellence with my mushroom cultivation. You guys, and excellence doesn't come overnight. It's born out of habit. So this is something I've repeatedly done over and over again. Like I said, I've been doing this 8 years, and it's my full-time job. So I've grown to thousands of pounds of mushrooms over the years. So a lot of experience you can gain from just watching this channel. Take the time and go sift through some of those videos. Might take a little time, but it's worth it. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. So anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start bringing these out. We're going to pick them, and we're going to get ready for the farmer's market. You guys ready? Let's get it. All right, guys, so here we are out here, and this is kind of like my little incubation area. Check these guys out, man. The Samson mane. So this is the new lion's mane strain I've been working with here. I just made this one. I created it from my Yeti, okay? Those of you guys who haven't seen my Yeti or any of those, my old lion's mane grows, you can head over to my Instagram. I've got the Instagram link down in the description box below. And be sure to follow me over there. We're starting to actually gain a little more followers on Instagram. I never took too much time to get Instagram followers, but since I started the YouTube channel and I moved out here to Colorado, I was like, man, I should start posting a little more on Instagram. So head over there and follow me if you're not already. But here's just a couple of the Samson manes. These are always like a favorite at the farmer's market. Everybody loves lion's mane mushrooms. These have been kind of like my #1 seller for, since I started this. When I first started getting into this, Paul Stamets got on the Joe Rogan podcast, and Paul was talking about lion's mane mushroom, and ever since then, it really took off for me. Some of you guys probably remember that podcast. A lot of people, a lot of you guys, most all mushroom people are Stamets followers. Stamets is like the OG, you know? Some people hate on him, dude, but you can't hate on Stamets. Stamets is the OG. And I'll tell you what, Stamets has gotten more people into mushroom cultivation and just gotten them into mushrooms than almost anyone else. It's pretty amazing, like, just as many people that he's gotten into mushrooms, it's mind-blowing to me. But after that podcast, the lion's mane just took off in sales. These are chunks, dude. Nice, healthy ones. And they smell so good. And I'll tell you what, when I sell these things, I want to give you guys some tips. And this is how I sell them. If anybody doesn't know about lion's mane mushrooms, I swear it's rare nowadays, but like I was saying, it's pretty rare that people don't know about the lion's mane mushroom nowadays. But I just want to tell you guys, when somebody walks up to my stand, I'll just basically describe how I talk to them about the lion's mane mushroom. I'll be like, hey, have you heard of the lion's mane mushroom? If they say no, I'm like, oh wow, well, this is a great mushroom. It tastes like lobster or crab meat, actually, and right away, tell you what, it does one of two things when you say that to somebody. They're either like, ooh, they're either like super intrigued because they like lobster or crab meat, or else they're like, I don't know if I want that one. And then what you do is you just be like, oh, well, here, check these oyster mushrooms out. These are a nice, like, mild, savory, nutty, umami flavor. You might be more interested in the oyster mushroom. But if you got someone interested in lion's mane, definitely be like, yeah, they taste like lobster or crab meat. You can talk about the neuroregenerative effects if you want to get in depth to that. A lot of people do like to talk about that or want to know a little bit about that because these are like neuroregenerative mushroom. A lot of people use them in supplements. It's not uncommon at all that somebody's like, oh yeah, I take the lion's mane coffee, or I take it in a capsule or a tincture, this and that. And if they're like, hey, how do I prepare this lion's mane mushroom now that you got them pretty interested? So first thing I do then is I pick up one of the fruits, try to pick up one of the ones that they're potentially going to buy, because here's what I do. I'll actually be like, oh, check this out, look. So you can just tear it, and I'll tear it right in front of them, because when you tear the lion's mane, look at that. Pure white on the inside. So you show them this beautiful white inside. Amazing. Pursuit of excellence. And then what you do is you're like, all right, guys, you take it and you just tear little pieces. Look at that. just like crab meat or lobster, and you can just take these little pieces and you put them right in the pan. Just put them all right in the pan. I normally tell people, put them in the pan, kind of lightly grease the pan. Don't put a lot of oil or butter in the pan at first. Just lightly grease it and basically do like a dry saute. You can kind of sear them a little bit. Once they start to kind of release their moisture, sear and break down, then that's time, if you want to, right when you think you kind of got stuff kind of getting pretty seared and maybe it's starting to dry out a little bit, then that's when you want to put in just a little more butter, just to kind of glaze them up a little bit, finish off that saute, and then hit them with your seasoning. I personally go like salt, pepper, garlic, keep it pretty simple, and then it's going to be just wonderful. But usually that'll get them to buy right then and there, but you can talk to them a little more about it. That is the technique, though. That little dry saute gets a little sear on them. I believe it's called the Maillard reaction, when the polysaccharides and the proteins and whatnot, they actually like chemically change a little bit, and they that flavors get enhanced, and it brings out more flavor. So awesome little technique. I picked that up from a chef my first couple years selling at farmers markets. Chefs were like, oh, do the dry saute. I think it was like the very first year one guy told me that. And once he told me that, that was like kind of like my sales pitch to all the customers then. But it's like the #1 technique, I think, for cooking the lion's mane mushroom. So that's an easy way to describe it. Or even if you're not selling these things and you're just cooking them yourself, you're like, man, I don't know, my lion's mane always gets all soggy and it just soaks up too much oil or butter. That's the problem. Do that dry saute, you won't ever have that problem. There's a myriad of ways that you can cook these things too, just beyond a saute. People go to the extent to make like vegan crab cakes, lobster rolls. I haven't done this yet, but I think like crab rangoon would be like super cool. I might make crab rangoon on the channel just for a video sometime, because I just think it would be, and I like crab rangoon. Who doesn't? I don't know. I like Chinese food. Who doesn't like Chinese food? But that's a cool way to do it. I even had a chef, check this out. One of the first chefs I ever sold to, I went to high school with this guy's sister, and that's how he got a hold of me. He just knew I was from the same town, went to the same school with him, and it was super cool just to work with him. But he had many barbecue restaurants, believe it or not, where I came from back in St. Louis. His name's David Sandusky. He owned, I think he still has it. I think it's called Beastcraft Barbecue. He owned like several different little restaurants for a while. He had like Beast Butcher and Block. He had Beastcraft. But this guy is an awesome barbecue chef, and he would use my lion's mane from time to time. He'd use some blues, some pinks. I'll tell you guys, there's pictures way back on my Instagram about this, but he used my lion's mane and some of the oysters in a cooking competition called the Iron Fork. It was in St. Louis, and I think he got second place one year, which was pretty cool. He even pretty sure he was on he was on Food Network at some point. Really, he was a big deal. He's a big deal as far as a barbecue chef is concerned. I shouldn't say was, he is. But one thing he did with my lion's mane mushroom, I'll basically tell you guys what he did during that cooking competition for the Iron Fork, just because I think it's like a super cool story. But he took the lion's mane, and in St. Louis, you know how every region kind of has like a local cuisine or a local dish that's like, you know, just local to the area and special to the area? Well, St. Louis, kind of one of the main things or cool things around St. Louis is toasted raviolis, all right? So taking a ravioli, and then they basically like fry it or whatever. But he made toasted raviolis out of my lion's mane, and he paired it with like some type of barbecue meat. I don't know exactly what he paired it with. I can't remember. But I know he made the toasted ravioli lion's manes. Then he made smoked greens with blue oysters. And then he had some craft beers. I know he like mixed up some craft beers. He put a pink, he poured the beers then for the judges, and then he put a pink oyster mushroom on the rim of the glass as like a garnish, and then he flamed it, dude. It was super cool. But I remember like when he was doing the little cooking competition, I couldn't actually go to it, but I watched it on YouTube, and I was like, dude, what's he doing with my mushrooms? And I was just stoked. Like when I saw him flaming that pink, I was like, dang. So that was one of the coolest things I've seen one of my chefs personally do with like the lion's mane and some of my other mushrooms. I'm selling some of my mushrooms that I'm selling now, I'm selling them to this super high-end restaurant called Sunflower, and they're on Instagram too. You guys can go check them out and just see some of the plates they're putting together. Amazing type of stuff, man. Absolutely amazing. He actually invited me in to eat. I don't know if I'm going to have time this year, because I do have elk season coming up, and I'm going to go elk hunting with my dad, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time here and then up in the mountains. throughout this whole next month of September. So it's going to be hard to kind of fit that in, but I'll do what I can. These people are awesome to work with. Hopefully I can work with them again next year as long as they can keep continuing doing what they're doing. But anyway, that's just a couple things about lion's manes and chefs that I've worked with, ways of preparing the lion's mane. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get to picking the rest of these things. We're going to get loaded up for the farmer's market, and we're going to crush it today, guys. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions about anything I went over, or you just want to drop some down below in the comment section, blow that comment section up for me, guys. But hopefully you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please drop this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But that's all I got for you on this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.